From the depths of internet, we come to you. Bad news, good news, dead horse beating news. Even no news will stop us. We'll make news. Even if it is in dumpster fire. We bring you integrity, except when it's EA, Ubisoft, Bethesda, Star Citizen, practically all of them. Movies, shows, and other industry bullshit. This totally is not a waste of time, but it sure is. Space Waste News! Come on, V. Yeah, we got the picture, finally. Oh, and finally Minnie also arrived. Damn, that's great timing.
At the last possible moment.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes. Hold on.
Okay, my mic.
Here we go. Right.
I
So-
was downstairs taking care of the wiener dog. Didn't get your message till I got back upstairs.
I presume you just for courtesy case added dog in that sentence, but okay.
Is that a euphemism or? You know?
No, I was downstairs taking care of my wiener dog. He needed to go out.
Okay.
Moving
Oh,
on.
anyways.
I have a dog. It's a dachshund. His name is Scotty.
I can't say
All
I
right,
like
then.
those particular dogs, but anyways, that's just my history, right? Anyways, so then greetings to everyone in them videos, chats, things, post recordings, whatnot else, or currently watching and all that stuff. Be it on
wait,
YouTube,
we
Twitch,
are
or
live
whatever
right
else.
now?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we're already
Oh.
live.
Well, okay then. Hello, everyone.
Yes,
didn't know
Minnie.
we
Not your wiener dog.
Yes, Minnie. We
Okay,
have strict
okay.
schedule upon which we enact and act on things and so on and so forth.
Yeah, you
So,
know what?
yes.
You know what? I'm mute my mic and go blush in the corner for a couple minutes. Be right back.
Oh. Anyways, so yeah, for today we're joined by the one and only Pilot and Minnie as a guest as well. So I suppose I should change the visuals here a little bit. Just give me a moment. In the meantime,
Hello,
I think
everyone.
Pilot can start us off on at least something since last week I did this one or started out. Yes.
Sure. Realistically, I've just finished moving. I just got my internet back last night. I'm very happy, and it makes me thrilled. Just absolutely thrilled that the moment I post publicly that I'm not going to be available because the internet's gone, that Frontier decides to drop a great lore Halloween event, and I can't participate even in the slightest.
That's
But-
terrible.
It is, oh my God, dude, I am dying. I am like, are you serious? Are you freaking kidding? Okay, fine. But I got to live vicariously through the rest of you. I watched all the streams on my phone, you know, just as we're in between moving boxes and everything like that. So
Yeah, I was on Blader's stream for the start of that. That was fun.
I got to catch a little bit of him. I got to see that the mega ship listening post something or other was broken, and you know they couldn't do that. It's not.
Oh, I that's where I got, and then nothing after that. So that's where we're at as far as the story goes. I don't know what happens after that, but I think the way that like everyone discovered the entire event was completely backwards because some of us are too smart or started in the wrong place. I don't know. It's weird. Like they wanted the event to go from A to B, but we went Z B F R A B and then back to Q, and then like I don't even know if we figured everything out because we started it on the wrong end. So we're all confused.
Oh,
That's what's funny to me as well.
oh, jeez.
Like
You know
just
what?
the whole thing, I'm just like, oh my god, this is hilarious and also great.
I can't give any feedback on actually the event itself or proceeding through it because obviously I didn't get to do it. But I am going to give amazing props to their 3 streams. And the middle one, the one in the afternoon where they pretended to be a news organization, that was awesome. That was hysterical. You were
I haven't
engaging.
seen that.
Oh my God, it's
I
great.
haven't seen that. Okay, I'm
they
gonna
go-
have to go look at that.
the name of the ghost ship. It's Alabaster, something like that. But he goes,
Adamastor.
Adamastor. He goes, he goes, Adamastor, that's a Greek name for 2 penguins kissing in the night, isn't it? And he goes, no, Bob, that's it means sunken ship beneath the waves. He goes, well, basically the same thing then. Right, moving on. I was like, it was
A sunken ship beneath the waves, like tipping two penguins. Oh my, that's actually pretty funny.
It is.
That's pretty funny.
It's
Okay.
like it's not like the most hilarious thing I've ever watched or anything like that, but it was good and they engaged the community and they had fun with it and they actually had levity and it was great and it's like everything I've been asking for like a year and a half. And I'm thrilled.
But I just saw like the other stream that they did where they tried to do an event and they like lost internet in between and then it was like 20 minutes of nothing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I saw that one too.
I don't know what happened with that.
That was the last one of the day. Yeah. But I got to like witness and you know the live streams at least and watch everybody play it and I see that it's actually really good. I like the new bobbleheads. I like this. I like that. I like that they're really piecing it together and he really leaned on it and said that you know this is just the beginning. This is not just a one-off for the holiday. We're building things. We're making huge narrative arcs for you guys and this and that. Yes, amazing. That's exactly what I wanted.
Well, I must admit that the voice acting in the logs and stuff, fantastic. Great atmosphere, great background noise. I don't know if like the motivation on the side of like the voice acting was quite to par with like what I would have expected or wanted, but it was still really good. So credit where credit's due for the sound design, especially for those audio logs for the event. So that was good, at least. It's a positive thing.
Excellent. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that they're trying and we can tell and we can notice and grateful. That's
like
all.
this event started and I was like, okay, another event. I'm just gonna watch and see how things go. But if let's put it this way, if Frontier does another event kind of like this, I might actually like get an exploration ship and go try it because this one seemed pretty interesting. The execution one wasn't quite as good, but if Frontier does another one, I think I'm gonna join everyone else and try to do it as well.
Me too.
Because this one was like a big community, like everyone kind of came together for this thing, and that's fantastic. I love seeing that.
Me too.
I think next event we'll give it a go.
I definitely cannot throw stones about their technical issues for the live stream cutting out or anything like that. I mean, for the love of God, you literally popped in just as we went live and we joked about your wiener dog for God's sake. I mean, it's not like we're doing much better here.
Right.
Most of
hi, I forgot he's here.
Yes.
It's been me and the pilot talking this whole time.
Well, hey, considering that I always talk and all that stuff, I might as well give others a chance. Yeah, well, why not? Yes.
All right, so I did see the typical Yemix, but what about this? This is freaking terrible thing on Twitter. So I imagine you didn't have all the love for it that we did.
Right, so if we're going into the whole thing, right? So first things first, the fact that they're dribbling out some clues and whatnot else on the off-game media and all that stuff. It's questionable whether or not that's a good idea, rather than using the in-game tools to basically make these what.
As a counterpoint to that, do you think it would have been better if instead of them just doing something through Twitter or something simultaneously, post the same thing on Twitter, their Facebook, the forums, as well as posting something in game, like a simultaneous post for something like that, where it's available on all platforms? I think that's what they should be doing, honestly.
Okay, so we are getting into the PR stuff, and it's gonna get really dry for a few folks, but basically, it's done specifically on Instagram for a specific reason, in order to grow that platform side of their, PR media and all that stuff. Basically, Elite has always been, or at least attempted to be, some sort of a cross-media sort of a project or whatnot else for some weird fucking reason, although rarely ever those really succeed. So my problem oftentimes is with, basically the way these things are presented. And honestly, in-game, it would have been a way better, way more interesting, and, everyone would probably be able to see it, plus interact actively with that thing, rather than just an, look at that, there's a post online, and that's a thing. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll give it to you. A Galnet alert or even a personal message dropped, and everyone's
way more interesting.
Yeah, that
all
would
I'm
have
saying.
been
Agreed.
ultimately better. I agree. Is that we should really be utilizing the in-game tools more
You know,
often.
you know how I learned about it?
Ah.
Someone posted about it on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, there's an event going on."
Okay, so
And
yeah,
I was in game at the time working on a project.
Oh, fun times, even
So
better.
I
But
learned
no,
about it
right.
by not even being in, like, I was in game, but I was like, "Oh, there's an event going on," and then I hopped on play or stream, and while I was doing something else.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, well, fair enough. Overall, uh, the event itself, sure, we're getting, the message being given to us backwards and so on and so forth. Okay, fine. Right. Now,
as
the
as
problem.
unlikely as it is, hold on, as unlikely as it is that anyone from Frontier is watching.
Yeah.
Just
Probably there might be one.
okay.
No, I highly doubt it. But, anyways.
Well, yeah, as unlikely as it is, I would just like to again. You guys did a good job. I think there's a lot of positive here. I'm cheering and rooting for you. But, maybe an in-game kind of notification would have been nice. And a couple little
An
hiccups.
interactive narrative telling is always more preferred than non-interactive posts on fucking Instagram. I can guarantee you that.
And unless you're going to integrate Instagram into Galnet, which please don't, then
What? No.
yeah.
It's being
an
filled
in-game
with fucking Asp Explorers, goddammit.
asks
Or
in front of
thoughts.
the,
Or I don't know. Either one.
Well, I wouldn't
Thought,
complain too much about
Thought
that one.
Asp Explorer. There we go.
Release the Asp Scout Horde upon Yamix.
No!
That's a fat asp.
That's his nightmare. Just a fleet of Asp scouts just
God.
headed straight for him, and he's like, "They won't stop. Go away. Leave me alone."
Anyway, as for the event itself, I actually haven't caught too much of it. Like I said, I watched Plater's stream where he got stuck at the listening post and everything like that too.
Yeah.
Is there something for like winning it when you find everything? Because they didn't say everyone found everything.
Nope. I mean, okay, you get almost 1 million for basically scanning the planetary base thing. That's 1 million credits. Is that price enough? And there are some materials laying around in that base too. So.
Well, I mean, is there like do you automatically get a bobblehead or a ship?
Hang on.
No.
No. Materials and base. What was there?
Crap. Pure, what else do you need to know? It's like any other fucking random base that is around, copy pasted or even hand placed on the base, except for Dav's Hope, which has the most materials. It's basically way less than that, and basically the same assortment.
Oh, are you looking at your
you
chat?
know these things more than me. Come on, you know
No.
Bases on the planets are usually filled with crap.
Okay, standard. Okay, no, I was thinking something different. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm thinking abandoned outpost, not active outpost.
Okay.
Abandoned outpost.
Listen, Dean 2 in the chat just actually had something interesting. The news broadcast that they did should have been done in-game through the holo screens. That would be really badass.
How fucking cool that would have been.
I would just all these people docked at different stations, watching the holo screens and listening over the PA system. I would totally do that.
Like if they just did please stand by for a galaxy-wide live broadcast through Galnet.
Or even if it is in one place. Or better yet, how about a fucking good old FLV in a video game, right? The
FLV.
video clip in the fucking
Flash?
game.
Yeah.
Isn't FLV Flash?
Oh wait, no. There was another term for not FLV.
Live video player.
There was something in the good old games that did VHS type of recording.
I don't think it's that important.
I don't remember how they were called. Damn it!
The terminology, but regardless.
But yeah, basically have a video clip in game literally would have been far more interesting. Though that would be also kind of weird because everything.
Oh, you mean like full motion video, fill the whole screen, kind of like
FMV? There we go. FMV.
Full motion video. Okay, FMV. That's what you're looking for. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
I would like that less than watching it on the holos.
You know what I wish we had? When our fleet carriers jumped? I wish we just got a cinematic video for that last like 30 seconds.
Ooh, you know what'd be
Right?
nice? A
That'd be great.
hollow screen in front of your little dock. You know how it goes down and you look at the wall? How about a hollow screen on that wall that shows you the outside camera view of, and you can move it and place it and set it how you want and watch the carrier jump.
Well, you can kind of do that if they own the carrier or the carrier management view. You're basically thinking of already having something like that, but for something that's just displayed on a screen in front of you while you're docked.
Yeah, and I want that. I want it to show it to everybody who docks at the carrier and while it jumps.
Oh,
That'd be awesome.
so like it would always show the carrier management view, basically just showing the outside of the carrier. And if the person that owns the carrier moves it, then it would change that view as well.
Yes, I think that would be awesome.
Imagine the amount of feedback and information you'd have to interchange for that for each little movement for moving the camera. I don't think that would work too well. You'd have to have a fixed
fair
camera
enough.
view. So it
Yeah,
would.
you're right.
You could show everyone that, but you'd also be dealing with two separate points of view and also rendering things in a three-dimensional plane, possibly, or choosing a source point for a visual for a camera. But I have never seen any live visual feeds for anything more than a one-color display.
Half-Life. The transmissions that happen throughout the start of the game, the Mr. Breen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's literally rendered from a separate box outside of the map.
That's
but it's not rendered for literally everybody in the instance.
Yeah.
Because that would be different.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The information interchange for having two sources for all the objects having to be in a certain position as well in a three-dimensional space, still projected on a two-dimensional plane, could still be like the game's like, all right, I'm already inside the hangar, so I guess I can denote resources to this too. But like, I think we have enough issues with some people's computers running a little bit hot inside stations or anywhere or around fleet carriers as well. Just
Fair
in
enough.
regards to how
Planet
much
surface
stuff there is
actually
there
more.
already. Yeah, Planet Services for sure. The crystal fields out, 4,000 something light years away, where you get like every grade 5 raw material for easy. Yeah, it's laggy out there. Well, it was on my old rig. I haven't tested it on the new one.
Fair
Interesting.
enough.
That was a highly detailed answer that I was not expecting. Okay.
But yeah, about the
And people
event
wonder
itself.
like why I do weapons. My thought process is a little different.
Anyway, moving on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, about the story, right? So this is the weirdest thing about Elite Dangerous, and something I find personally quite irritating, but not completely, greatest breaking thing and whatnot else. The fact that in-game Elite Dangerous is fully serious, it's just the most serious thing ever. Like, everything is super serial and nothing ever has any level of levity. Literally, there's nothing, right? And yet, on media, developers and their PR team and so on and so forth often portray the game in the complete opposite. Right, it's all fun and games. It's hee hee ha ha, sort of a type of a thing, right? Rather than the actual, tone of the game itself. And when you're trying to blend these two things together, that's the thing. While yes, it'd be nice to have that video in game, right? Problem is that tonally as well as visually, it wouldn't quite fit together. They would have to, obviously, because everything is within Elite Dangerous, supposed to be, rendered with in-game graphics rather than just full motion videos being put in place that just feel out of place, right? Tonal shift. And yet, on public media, the thing is that ever since the beginning of Elite Dangerous, and this has been basically through starting from Horizons 2.2 when they started actually more interacting with the community and realizing, oh, people actually play our super serial game with, funny mentality, and there's this Yamix too that makes this stuff too, but whatever, him, right? But regardless, well, okay, let's portray it in our media as well, in a funny way, even though the game itself is completely tonally different. And
you know what?
know.
I think it would not be that hard for them to make a CG character based on the in-game models, right?
Yeah.
Add lip flaps to it, depending on the height or smallness of the sound
You
wave
don't need to do
being
that.
projected. And then you put it on a screen, and then whenever you get a mail, there's an announcement.
Also,
Ta-da!
you don't need to do that.
I'm saying it's a nice-
They have already done basically that with the fucking Type 10. Okay.
I actually.
Hang on. That
What?
Type 10 comment came out of nowhere. I need a full
Yeah.
explanation of your reasoning, sir, because it
It
just went
has
off
flaps.
into the
Remember,
horizon.
it's stupid
All right.
wings flaps.
Okay.
Okay.
I said lip flaps. You're thinking wing flaps. I'm thinking like mouths opening and closing, animation lip flaps. You're thinking
Okay.
wing flaps.
Okay.
No, completely different.
Crates, wings, or crates, and of course Type
Okay,
6's
you're not
cargo
getting it.
cargo scoop as well.
We're
That-
being obtuse.
Yamix, you're taking us off topic.
Yeah. Okay.
regardless.
So wait, hold on a minute. I want real quick. I know that you didn't actually appreciate the tonal difference between the newscast. And
Oh,
the
I
actual
absolutely loved it.
tone of the game. I know. I absolutely loved it too. See, I think it was great. I thought it was fun and funny and good. I mean, again, not the best thing I've ever seen on the internet. That's a pretty high bar, but still very fun. And they are still regrettably British, so that's I'm lowering the
Their
bar.
humor capability is limited. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's terrible. That's
I'm
terrible.
sorry.
How dare you?
No, that
How
no,
dare you?
no.
sir?
That's
Do
British
you
humor, and that's how it is.
my family lineage? Neither do I, but I'm just saying, just in case. How dare you?
Okay, fair enough. But no, the thing is, I've actually a while back I did a video about, let's say, I think that the sound. Yeah, whenever I talk about the sound design in Elite Dangerous, I also mentioned the tone of the game, right? That it's always perfectly dark, perfectly distant. The music is really nice and all that stuff. Sound effects are really nice. That gives you that feeling of the dreaded dark deep space, whatnot else.
I can play the game with nothing.
However,
else on, headphones all
while
the
it
way up,
play
and
while it plays mini, god damn it, radio decorum for fuck's sakes. While it plays that one tone perfectly, it doesn't change, and the dynamics, the highs and the lows, become ever so closer and go ever so closer to each other, resulting in, well, old boring stuff that you get used to. Even a good thing, when it's overplayed, it becomes really boring. And that's the problem. I always wanted to see more upbeat music, or perhaps even some story narratives, or just random, outposts with some funny stuff, or well, at least humorous stuff, or something different tonally, rather than just, oh, we're dying, everyone's dying, this scary thing is coming for me, and that's it. How long
okay.
can you live with that?
All right, let me just pitch this here and say, I understand that's maybe what you have wanted, and I can definitely see a good chunk of the player base probably wanting something similar. But I can also see a huge, much bigger chunk of the player base who wants it to stay basically a tone beige space sim, and if they want narrative or
I
fun
get it, there are
time-
plenty of British around, but for the rest of the world, we want some
it's
color.
a British game. Oh no.
okay, but realistically,
you're starting with developers that have developed in a
No, yeah.
portion of the planet that do think a little bit differently. So ideal
Yeah, a
for
little
them
bit,
might not be ideal for you, which lives geographically
No,
in a
of
different
course
area of
not.
the world.
no. Realistically,
Yeah.
I'm saying though is that every time you go out and you hang out with anybody, literally join a squad, join a wing, do anything at all in this game, it devolves into silly nonsense pretty quickly.
That's
if you're
human
looking-
nature.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
If you're looking for silly nonsense in this game, simply play with one other person. That's all it takes, and it's not that hard to get that.
Oh, there's no disputing that. The problem, the rather criticism rather than the problem I have is that, yes, it plays that one tone well, but in order for that tone to completely succeed on its high notes for its high note level required, success, right? It has to have something to jump off of in comparison, right? Basically have that low point or high point in the storytelling and all that stuff. The same thing goes with the tone, right? And when you're building out these things, it just kind of needs. And of course, I'm using the comedy as that's what I know most, right? As the sort of a counter to serious stuff, right? Maybe there's a different way to achieve it. And hey, you're welcome to do it. But the problem is that every new narrative just constantly gets this hard, dreaded feeling and whatnot else. And yeah, it's nice to have it, but when your only jump off point is just emptiness and boring space.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would love to address this further, but I'm
I
gonna
would
have to ask.
also, I would
I'm
also
gonna,
like to address the point. I'm just gonna put my name in the line, and I'll wait.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Okay, go for it.
I will say I would love to address the point further, and I'll hand it off to Minnie right after I'm done with this. Can you adjust your stick and put it down 30 degrees up or down so that the asteroid belt stops popping in and out of existence? It's ticking me off.
Fine.
Really?
Fine.
That's
Jesus.
what's bothering you?
No. I'm gonna specifically target it. There you go.
Oh,
Level of
See,
loading,
if you
ladies and
wouldn't have said
gentlemen.
anything and pointed it out, yeah. See, I'm seeing that. So, like, right at the edge when it exits the limit of the game's vision. Yeah, there it goes.
Oh.
That's terrible.
For God's sake, just get a little bit closer.
He's
Anyway,
gonna just
Minnie,
leave
go
it there
ahead.
for the next 20 minutes. I didn't even remember what I was going to talk about now because of that. Anyway,
Tonal shifts, tonal
so, okay,
changes.
tonal shift. So, recently, it's a little bit of a segue, but recently I went and played through Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, and Yamix, I believe you played through that as well. Yes?
Absolutely love the game.
Absolutely love the game. However, once you beat the game, get to the end, there's not that much to do. There's a loss of content, but I understand that. It's not a live service game. However, my playthrough of it, I much enjoyed myself. There were
It's a
things in
small
the game
game and
that I
it has
liked.
its own
Yeah, it
story,
is a small
which is-
game, but it was great. I really enjoyed it. Was it a good game? Absolutely. Would I recommend other people play it? Yes, but keep in mind it's not going to be an exact clone of Elite. You have to keep that in mind. It's made by different people. The idea of the game is for generally a different audience, I think. If you don't like it because it's not just like Elite, okay, cool. Well, Elite's kind of the same way. It has a different tonal shift. There's things in Rebel Galaxy Outlaw that I liked that would be like, oh, that'd be cool to have an Elite, and other things in Elite that I see that Rebel Galaxy did better or worse. There's comparisons for any game that's similar enough to where, yeah, things could be better, but
You know what about Rebel Galaxy?
Fair enough. No,
You know what I love?
every game has its own main tone, right? But there has to be, the emotional highs, emotional lows, and of course the sort of again tonal changes from time to time. You can't always pluck the let's say emotional strings. You're just gonna run dry on the tear ducts eventually, right?
There's never gonna be a perfect game that we all like, but we'll have elements of one that we like. And you know what? If we're able to criticize things that we don't like about it and hope those things are changed in the future, that's great. And if the developers of the game listen to their community and do that, that's a good sign. They might not get everything right, but I mean, come on, they're human just as much as we are.
Actually, to
But
that
you
point,
can't give them too much slack. That I'm also saying that as well.
To that point, Double Damage, the guys who make Rebel Galaxy and
Yes.
Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, the main criticism with the first one, which is actually the sequel, and the sequel is the prequel, but whatever. The first one, the big criticism was, oh, you only move in, on a flat plane. You don't get to go up and down, blah, blah, blah. I personally didn't give a shit. I thought it was awesome the way it was. But
I still haven't beat I own it, but I haven't beaten it.
It's easy to cheese the game completely. If you just, once you unlock all the gates, you can go all to the end and just do a couple missions there. And then, basically you own everything. But the whole point is that they heard the community say, oh, we want to be able to move in 3 planes, and this is terrible and blah blah blah, but otherwise the game is amazing and excellent. And that's why in Outlaw you get to move in 3 planes, but you can't fly a capital ship.
Yes.
If you
Fucking
go
yes. I
if you
missed
go
flying a giant bruiser.
if you go to the website, Double Damage's website, and you open up the FAQ, the very last question is, why can't I fly capital ships in Outlaw? It says, because you losers wanted to move in 3 planes of direction, and there you go. That's the trade-off. Have fun. I swear to God.
I mean, honestly, that's great.
I
know,
love
right?
them. No, I really like double damage, guys. First of all, I managed to release the quote unquote review for it back when it launched, and
Mhm.
it as the only Rebel Galaxy game that I actually ever played. Honestly, I really liked it, and I never needed. I need bigger space bucket to fly. I mean, I already have plenty of space buckets to fly at this point. The interesting part was the music, the
Oh, dude,
relatively speaking, the
can I jump in?
story and visuals, and of course
So
cosmetics, or
yeah,
rather
yeah, yeah.
the
So,
ability to customize it
dude,
is amazing.
I put my YouTube logo on my ships. It's awesome.
It's
So every time I fly around, I see
absolutely
my logo. It's great.
fantastic. Like no other game in my memory actually have had that much of a customization capability. Just fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I just wish I wasn't so shit at painting because my ships always looked awful. So I was like, whatever, I'll just paint my logo on the wing and done. I do
Yeah.
not have art skills.
Do you know
But
what I
anyway,
would like? You know what I would like to see? I'm sorry, Minnie, go ahead.
one thing that I really liked about Rebel Galaxy Outlaw is that it's probably one of the few games that I unplug my headset to play because I enjoy the music so much.
Oh, it's
Oh
fantastic.
yeah, the first one is my favorite. Oh, but yeah, that's good.
Like the main theme song for Rebel Galaxy Outlaw or Rebel Galaxy or Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, either one of them, the opening theme song, perfect choices for both
Mhm.
games. Perfect freaking choices for both games.
Yeah. Do
Long
you
hard
guys
days.
do you guys remember Monster Rancher?
Sounds familiar.
Okay, so basically the premise of the Monster Rancher series was it's basically knockoff Pokemon. You go and you get a monster, you raise it, you train it, and then you go enter tournaments and then move forward to this and that. But the gimmick was it was for a PlayStation. You went to the shrine to go summon a new monster, and what you did was the game would actually pause itself in the memory, pop open the disc tray, and say insert a CD. And that was the magic disc in game that would create a monster from the whatever CD you put in there, and it was completely generated from whatever you put in. With certain CDs like Metallica giving off special monsters, etc.
Oh, I thought people were literally selling CDs as like a ways of unlocking stuff for this game, and I was like, that sounds a lot like what they're already doing. That's terrible.
Well, I mean,
But if you're just entering random CDs into it that you owned, then yeah, that's kind of cool.
It is. Yeah, if it was just you're using. I remember that I specifically went off and bought my a Metallica CD, a certain one, just to unlock a certain monster. I will totally tell you that. But that is a mechanic that I would like to see in, I don't know, maybe Rebel Galaxy, or if you wanted to do the customization even further in the future, unlock this new unique ship or anything, or this randomly procedurally generated ship with something like that. Like, let me read your machine ID code, or unlock this unique one-of-a-kind paint job based on your profile ID.
I've got an idea.
Yeah.
All right, walk through with me here on this. Yamix, you come along too, and everyone on the stream, come along with me. So, who here has played Spore?
Yeah, of course.
No.
Okay, think Spore spaceship creator with parts and pieces for every single ship that we play, like in Elite. If we had the ability to design our own custom ship and it was just made out of, shapes and polygons, and we just squish them together, and then you get one of those ships, and that's it.
Yeah,
but it is a handcrafted piece.
I think that's kind of what No Man's Sky is kind of doing.
No, there's another game, or another two games, one of which is really terrible due to the developers, but Dual Universe, yeah, exactly. That one's a piece of shit because of the developers, and I'd say, yeah, Space Engineers. That's there you go.
Yeah, no, I mean those are definitely built.
It is a lot of fun.
I am shocked Mini like Space Engineers. Oh my
god.
god.
I'm shocked too.
Space Engineers. I've streamed it before on my channel. I have montage videos, multiple montage videos talking about nothing but Space Engineers, because that game is fantastic when you play with friends.
Oy. No, but I mean I like the idea of building my own stuff, but then I remember that most of us are fairly uncreative. And most people who play most creative games can be uncreative. You're going to get the obligatory space dildo, and that's about it. But yeah,
that's exactly what happened. You're not
of
wrong.
course. Yeah,
Mhm. But playing with friends doesn't matter. It's still
it's true.
fun.
Yeah, but playing anything with friends is fun. You can play stickball with friends, and it's fun. I mean, we have the evolution of games to try to set off a different setting, and like to Yemix's point, setting off a different tone. I like the concept of having something truly and utterly unique that's either generated somehow, either off of a code or off of your input or how you play the game, that literally no one else can have. And I have yet to find the game that can truly do that for me. And I'd love to see that implemented as some kind of customization, even if it's just a gimmick to sell the game.
There are problems with that.
Hit me.
First of all, game
How do you
balance.
package that idea? Okay, how do you package that idea into a concept able to program that to satisfy everything that you want? Because it sounds like literally you're looking for a universe, and we haven't figured that out yet.
No. I don't need the whole thing dedicated to that customization. I'm just saying, like, in the case of Elite, it could be a ship skin. I would love to have a ship skin that nobody else could have, and everyone else can have their own ship skin that no one else could have.
See,
It's not impossible.
The problem is that when you get down to people putting their own like custom images and stuff on their ships, like for example, like it kind of sounds like you're looking for something similar to what they have in Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, where you can paint your own ship, correct?
Mhm.
It was just an example, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to do that, you'd have to make it to where you'd have to be able to submit a file that could then be placed onto an icon onto your ship, but you probably wouldn't be able to get a full custom paint job, I don't think. But if you submitted an icon, maybe they'd be able to do that. But that would be something you'd have to send in, submit for review, and then get it.
Yeah.
So you'd have to fill out a form and send in a texture file. It's like, hey, I want a template for this, and then they'd have to release like the paint file to you, and then you'd have to edit it and send it back.
Hold on. Actually, I would prefer ultimately to not make my own and to have everybody else not be able to make their own. I would like it to be randomly generated and then set as a seed. Since we're using RNG for everything anyway,
What if you got a bad seed?
Oh, well, then you got a bad one.
Well, okay.
Unfortunately, that's how products don't get sold.
Yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't. If it's like, hey, here's a chance to get something really crappy, I'll buy that. That just seems like no.
It is. There is a matter of luck to it, but I like the fact. I like the fact that it's individual.
I do not want to give Frontier any kind of possibility for any kind of potential slot machine mechanic.
Oh, Mini, but they already did. Mini,
Yeah, I know,
why
for
didn't you raise those
no.
concerns back when they did?
That was for engineering. That's for time investment versus what I'm getting out of it. Yeah, it was a terrible exchange, but you could argue that technically you could have always gotten an improvement if you kept going. You never got a negative result. Well, no. Before we got negative results. I'm glad they fixed that. Now it's only positive. So yeah, they fixed it eventually. Anyway,
disgusting.
I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway.
All right, carrying on to the next topic.
What's the next thing?
Yes. I'll pick that one. Let's see. So the tonal shift done. Okay, Cyberpunk 2077 is delayed this week again. On I think it was 27th. They announced that the game will be delayed again to December 10th. I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, basically they're going for another month extra time. Essentially, I think it was. So
COVID has set me off. COVID has set me off to the point where everything is delayed, and I don't care. It's just the nature of the beast. Everyone gets a pass. This year was a freebie. It's fine. Let's just move on with what we got and be grateful.
Hit the big reset button on 2021. I'm calling it now, unless things get worse. But let's hope for not.
Damn right.
Well, things are better. 2021. Let's go.
Just nuke the planet.
Exactly. No
solutions.
No. Yeah. If we can escape, yes. If we can get all the smart people on the spaceships to leave Earth and then nuke Earth in a way that completely resets Earth, where it's not radioactive, and then we come back down, yeah, cool. But until then, no.
Was that the neutron sweep from Stellaris?
Something
okay.
like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
anyone
That was
below
the
anyone below a certain IQ level. Just,
neutron thing. Yes.
But you know what? I'm gonna actually opt for not decimating the planet and ending the species, even though we totally deserve it. Only because the Mandalorian season 2 popped, and oh my god, it's so good.
wait, it's out? I haven't seen any of it yet.
I haven't either.
The first episode popped today. It's so good. I'm not gonna ruin it.
My sister has Disney Plus. I'm going over to her house later.
Ooh,
All right,
it's so
then. All right, fair enough. Well, all right. So Cyberpunk, I'm not sure. Actually, Pilot, you're gonna get it or not? And Minnie, the same question.
I'll get it when it comes out.
Okay, Pilot. Chat is also requesting, especially Crimson Gamer. Hi, Crimson.
Hey,
we are requesting no spoilers.
Of course, I would never dare.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know how big of a Star Wars fan I am.
Oh, you
Everybody
poor
knows how big of
little
a Star Wars-
child. Let me
This
tell
is
you
the
of
way.
this company called Disney.
Oh, okay. Regardless.
No.
I
No.
don't wanna see it.
Whoa, no. You've stepped on a landmine here, sir. Listen to me. Listen, Star Wars as Jon Favreau does it is good.
Yes.
Star Wars as they have done it on the other side with the movies is
Terrible.
not.
Terrible.
If you
They
actually
have massacred my baby.
yes, Jon Favreau has rescued that series and he's made it into what Star Wars should be, and it is amazing, and it's in television form, and it's just 1 hour little micro episodes that are freaking amazing.
Every episode is 100% canon, and it's great.
They're so good.
All right, we can all just agree that Jar Jar is the best character and he's Sith Lord. There we go. Let's move on.
I will
Right.
burn you alive.
You know what?
Come at
you know
me,
what?
bro.
Hang on. If they completely undid, like, let's see. Okay,
Well, you can't undo.
Pilot, are you okay-ish with 1, 2, and 3?
No.
Because I'm kind of okay-ish with 1,
No.
2, and 3.
You just think it's okay because it's been so long, but they're
Maybe
bad.
that's it. They
They're
are. Well,
bad.
yeah, episode 1 is pretty terrible.
And I'm sorry, I would much rather have the old expanded universe back and have actually Knights of the Old Republic be canon again.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Come on, man. What's his name? The main guy, the one that carries on over into the MMO is like the legend.
Bane?
No, what?
I don't know.
Ahsoka?
The Master of the
Darth
Light
Bane
and the
is
Dark.
canon.
No, the Master of the Light, the Dark. You play him in the first game,
Jesus
as him in
Christ.
the first game.
Which game?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, we're going in circles.
Revan. Revan. It's Revan.
Okay.
Oh my
Sorry,
god.
I'm thinking like Clone Wars series as well. The deep
No.
lore with the wills.
Bring back Revan. I want Revan because he became so prolific as a master of both the dark side and the light, and he decimated the galaxy.
Yeah.
And then he became a legend. And so that
He
now
literally learned the true balance in between light and dark and unlocked the full capabilities of the Force.
exactly
That's why he's such a badass.
he was not a Jedi anymore. He was back to the old Jedi, the Jedai, which is what the original freaking Force sensitive users were called before there was an entire civilization and cult and religion. All right, yeah, I went off
Sorry,
the rant.
yeah, Mix. We get into Star Wars lore and we lose you. It's fine.
No,
I want
I'm
that
just
back
doing
now.
the same thing Pilot usually does to me. So
That's fair.
so just-
It's absolutely fair. I've gone on a rant.
It's
No,
fine.
Anyway,
no. The
We
thing is,
enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself.
I've
Thank you.
relatively looked myself into some of the lore and all that stuff of, let's say, some of the Star Wars and all that stuff. And yeah, there are some interesting things, though. As with everything else, essentially, they're going very, as with everything that is, expanded universe, they usually tend to go, bigger, more bombastic in basically the powers and everything else. And that's something I kind of really hate. I don't know. It's just, why can't we just have some small little story, Mandalorian, right? And just have that as extended, instead of just going with the bombastic, as you said, Revan, right?
Honestly,
Or a
the
Star Killer, right? And then whatnot else.
Yeah,
And fucking
so,
Jesus.
like-
Come on.
the idea of like Star Wars side stories and series Totally up for that. Just give me little peeks into Star Wars universe and lore. Doesn't matter what time scale it's in. Just give me side series that are canon. I'm okay with that instead of like movies, because The Mandalorian's done a fantastic job with that.
I want to agree with you, but you're gonna hate me, and this is where everyone gets to slap me a little.
No. Give me your counterpoint.
I didn't hate Solo.
You didn't hate Solo.
I didn't.
I liked it relatively well.
Hyperion fuel out of nowhere.
Oh, that's yeah. Oh.
I didn't catch that. What'd you say?
Fuel. The entire concept of fuel being an extremely expensive and precious resource, which was not generated at all anywhere in any of the Star Wars lore until Episode 8 and Solo.
Interesting. I didn't catch that.
You never.
Personally, that's a little detail that I particularly. It's a MacGuffin in my. Yeah, again.
It is. Of course.
The whole thing with Rey and them when they in like the Force Awakens or whatever. Did you remember any mention of any kind of fuel being a limited resource at all?
I got to be honest.
It was never a point of contention, right?
I watched those movies. I watched those movies, and they're all blocked. I can't remember a damn thing from any of them.
From Episode 1 to Episode 7, ships run on some kind of power source and or fuel, but it is never mentioned what kind it is, and it's never seen to be a limited resources. However, when Episode 8 comes around, coaxium fuel, whatever, is now like the new most precious commodity in the galaxy that was invented out of nowhere and is highly explosive, dangerous to transport, and everything like that. Okay, fleet is running out of fuel, and the Empire / New Order is chasing them down, and they run out of fuel and they die. Okay. Okay, now Solo. The entire story revolves around fuel.
Yeah.
To further enforce that point.
Well, it could have been anything. It could have been anything. You know, you realize
something precious.
That's why I don't like Solo, because that's why I don't like Solo, because they're like, here's a fuel idea. We're gonna shove it down your throat. And this is why it's so important in the official canon movie. That's my problem with it.
It's lazy writing,
it's
essentially.
Literally like propaganda and lazy writing. That's why I have a problem with it.
It's more lazy writing, because we need some sort of a thing that is, a target for them to pick up. They force
fuel.
It's basically forcing onto
and valuable resource into canon out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go the other way.
We need a point in story. We can't be bothered to be creative. Let's go with fuel.
Yeah. Also tracking people through hyperspace. Bullshit.
Oh, that's fun time.
Now, if they would have caught them in an interdiction field along the path that they herded them to make them jump out or go to hyperspace, or like pop up some interdictors along some of the hyperspace lanes, perfect. That would have been great. But tracking them on the end of a string, bullshit.
My only problem,
a quantum entangled pair that I had put onto the ship.
My only problem was when I don't maybe remember which episode it was, where she turns the ship around and rams it into the other one. I'm like,
that was badass.
It was cool looking visually, but realistically kind of stupid, because if you could just use ships,
would make hyperdrive missiles.
Exactly. Why would you not do that? Why would you risk anybody's life and not just send off these giant freaking things to batter the hell out of things?
I think Disney saw that, and then everyone was like, yeah. And then they were like, wait, that's kind of how terrorists do things. Do we want to promote that? Maybe not.
Exactly. It's stupid. All right, whatever. It's
visually,
fine,
it was cool. It was cool visually. However, they were like, yeah, maybe not. That's kind of bad.
I didn't overthink Solo too much, and I think that was the point. And I blame that for Ron Howard, because I love his storytelling. Is that he turns around and if there's a hole, like Star Wars fuel is bullshit. If you don't notice it because everything else is kind of at least upbeat and catchy, and you're paying attention.
Able to use the Force out of nowhere, also bullshit.
Well, I don't know. I mean, have you ever had a psychic moment? Like you've like moved something or just knew something was going to happen?
A little bit of what do you call it? Deja vu?
Yeah.
Well, that's the concept here, is that realistically, you could maybe spontaneously have little Jedi moments where you connect with the Force. Jedi is just a religion that helps you focus and learn how to use it. I'm okay with that.
At that point, you're almost seeing it as the will of the Force moving through Leia to keep her going as a conduit of the Force itself and how it enacts upon the universe.
Well, now we're bordering
Space
on
magic.
philosophy and God.
But if you
So-
think of it that way, it makes
Oh,
sense.
boy.
So you could order it either. You could argue it either way. It just depends on your point of view. I mean, and that's for anything.
Okay, I'll take
And that's
that.
for anything. So like
we should probably move on though.
Yeah, it's been.
Yemek said no
I
idea
mean,
what he
we've
was
gone
gonna
through
do.
literally like 4 topics, and it's been already an hour, which is usual length of this.
I am having a great time. Let's keep going.
No, it's fine. I usually limit the space-based news for an hour to be concise and all that stuff. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, we tend to go in random debates sometimes. So let's dash through some topics, shall we? So AMD had announced the 6000 series for graphics cards, which seem to be conquering out or at least are marked up as to conquer with the 2080 Ti's
3080,
and
3080s.
even 3080s and 3090s, which is interesting. And the price wise, it's the most expensive 69 6900 XT. That one's gonna be $1,000, I think it was. And that will conquer, or rather has been proven to beat out the 3090 already in a few things, not all, or majority, I think it was. But still, it's interesting to see AMD actually being, at least competitive in that high end, hopefully, as well.
Yeah. I'm rocking an Asus 2080 right now.
I'm on a 2080 Super. I have no
2080
intention
Ti,
of upgrading.
my end. So
I think mine's an OC.
Well, I overclocked mine.
Yeah, we pretty much all have the
regardless,
same graphics card though, yeah?
The TI had more memory and higher
Just
clocks
about.
by default as well, so it's still higher. So yeah, but 2080.
Yours is-
Oh, actually, no. 2080 Super was very close to 2080 Ti, right?
Do we all have a form of 2080?
Yes.
Yes, we all have 2080s. That's it.
Yeah.
Yamix may have a slightly different version with slightly different schematics, but okay, cool. I didn't know that. That's all I wanted to know.
We're all on the same
There you go.
chipset.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting. No, overall,
So like
all I can say.
$1,000
Oh,
for a new card. So compared to like what we're running now, like what would that do?
Sure.
Oh no,
overall,
the
we'll see.
3080 architecture, the 30 series architecture is vastly different. It actually is.
It's an
huge
Ampere
performance
architecture, yeah. So it's definitely. Oh God, I don't remember
Would it
what
require a
the
different slot?
current architecture. I mean, the 20,000 architecture was built on, but it was definitely quite a bit larger in the nanometer wise than the Ampere, that is the 3000 series essentially. So yeah, basically the power savings, even though they're sort of dispensing with the power savings and just going and blasting into fucking power into the card as much as possible in order to just blast out as much performance as possible.
Wait, how much does it need?
The card alone, 3080 apparently consumes around I think it has 430 watts alone.
400 watts?
I think it
you-
was, yeah.
You get why this is important, right? Is that normally NVIDIA runs on only a simple, formula. Is that it's new architecture, and then they shrink it for the next
Oh
generation.
no, it's 320 watts. Sorry.
Right.
Anyways,
All right, so it's new architecture, then they shrink it for the next generation. The new architecture, then they shrink it for the next generation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But with the 30 series, they shrunk it and did a new architecture, which it was just a massive leap. It really is that much better, and yeah, it's a big deal. And to say AMD can even compare, that's kind of a big claim. I don't know if they'll be able to back up.
The problem is, right, the previous version, I think it was the server, basically leftovers from Radeon 7, right? Oh wait, no, even before that, when Vega first was announced, Vega Frontier Edition, wasn't else. Basically, that fucking thing literally consumed so much fucking wattage and barely managed to match step down from the top line of NVIDIA's offerings at the time. I think it was 1080s, yeah. 1080 Ti was the top line, and then 1080 it managed to somehow kind of match it, but it was overpriced and just overblown, and what was it? Wattage. There we go. Power consumption. So there you go. Yeah, it's certainly interesting overall. I mean, if the graphics cards are moving or will be moving thanks to AMD as well as CPUs, right? Of course, the 5000 series coming out real fucking soon. It's gonna be very interesting. And the thing is about the 6000 series graphics cards. Essentially, they will have the ray tracing cores or whatever they call them on AMD's side, so that you could run all the same, RTX titles with those cores as well. So yeah, there you go. And Pilot's a big piece of shit. Can go and die in fire. That's it. I'm not inviting the fucking piece of crap in any of my collabs ever again because I'm a petty piece of crap as well. Yeah, there we go. All right, Mister Snarky Shit. Your topic.
We did it for the lulz. Also, I am completely out of my depth with this particular topic. So
it's fine. It's fine. It's just something that I like to at least get informed about and whatnot else. I just
he likes tech, and then I can spar with him for most of it. It's just that
if you want to keep going, that's cool. It's your thing. You gave us all the time to jib jab. We were just making a joke. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, man, if you want to talk about your tech, that's fine. I will chime in when appropriate, but I know you like to go into the deep history of architecture, and it's a bit much.
He also tends to do it with no breaks for breath, so it's hard to get anything in edgewise.
I know! Yeah, let's move on then.
All right, so look, I see on the list here that you want to talk to Minnie about the upcoming hopes for Odyssey.
That was Minnie's topic. So Minnie brought to the table something. So for the last, let's say, 10 minutes or so for the stream, let's go.
The main reason I really want to see Odyssey succeed personally is because I really want to experience everyone seeing the galaxy at its true scale. So like once you get down to like people size and then actually able to see how big your ships are and then able to see how big the surfaces of planets and stuff are, and then how big the galaxy is, you have a little bit better idea on the universe itself. But also I kind of just want to be on the ground while someone flies over my head in a giant ship and kicks up a bunch of dust or shoots missiles nearby. I don't know. I hope I'm going to be able to see stuff like that. That's my main hope. I want to see my ships as big as they really are.
I would like to see that too, except I would like to see them from the inside. And I'm a little disappointed that we can't walk around our ships and that there's not more added gameplay and functionality that's being added by stations and stuff like that. However, I am also looking forward to that kind of gameplay of standing there and getting buzzed by a python or something like that.
If we get upgrades to the game, even if it is in small chunks until those small chunks work correctly, and then they are developed over time. Now that's hoping for a lot because we know how the game's developed up until this point. So I'm keeping that in mind. Yeah, but I'm hoping that with this next update that it starts going in a direction that goes to improve the game for a longer lifetime, because I don't want to get to that point where I'm playing this game and it gets to the point where it's so boring and or the game dies and there's no more content, there's nothing more to do or nothing more to do with my friends, and my friends don't want to play the game anymore, because the game is a lot about playing with my friends and having fun. If there's not enough stuff for us to do together, there's not a lot of reason to play the game. So I continue to hope that new content comes out to keep everyone interested and to keep our community alive, growing, and strong.
That is a noble and wonderful goal, and I hope it comes to fruition. But I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, is that the minute that I can leave my ship, I might not come back onto it for a good solid month or two.
Well, let's just say that I have been holding on to a project, and one of my friends knows very much well what it is. And when Odyssey comes out, I'm going to be really interested to see what that project does in person at that scale. Let's just put it that way.
It's going to be interesting. We're all going to be able to do neat little things.
Pilot, it is going to be absolutely terrifying and amazing at the same time. And as many people as we can get together for this thing, I hope it can work.
You're going to do an engineering series with guns?
Oh, no. Well,
circle jerk. That's my thing.
Nope. Basically, I'm thinking of a large crowd of people on the ground while I demonstrate something.
How many people can you kill with one missile?
There will be death involved. However, it will be glorious.
All right. So realistically, to this point, though, is that if you want to experience what it's like to get buzzed by a ship and be walking around in sense of scale and wonder and blah 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 blah, I kind of actually am a fan of Star Citizen for that very reason. I enjoy.
I haven't installed it or poked my head into it until it is at a point to where it is stable enough to where I can look at everything and not go,
Good
that looks
luck
like
with
crap,
that.
that looks like crap, that looks like crap, that looks like crap. So no, there's a reason why I pop on the Yam Extremes when he's doing Star Citizen and find one thing that I don't like the head's not moving when you walk because the head is a stationary object and the point of reference for the shadow, and that doesn't happen in real life. And that bothers me. So yeah, no, fix your shadows.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I definitely think that you should install it and play it probably once, though. I mean, just
I did.
okay.
Didn't like it. Control screen's
Okay.
weird. I'm gonna wait
Oh,
till
yeah.
everything's done and ready, and I'm gonna come in and fix it, and then I might play. Because I've already
That's-
backed the game. I paid my $59 for the starter pack a long time ago, so I've already invested. But I haven't seen enough for my investment to pay off to even judge worthy the hard drive space for the game. That's where it is in my mind.
Oh, just buy the $20 SSD. That's what I did.
Yeah, not even worth it. I'd rather play a free game off of Steam
Interesting.
than install
Okay.
Star Citizen.
Okay. I mean, I
That's
legitimately
my
enjoy
opinion
it.
of it right now. That's currently where my opinion of it is. And
I'm not
honestly, that's probably where it deserves to be, realistically. And I think that's where it should stay for the time being. Until I see better, I will leave it where it is.
You know what? That's a perfectly fair,
Because-
reasonable argument.
Because for $60, I have not seen $60 worth of investment back.
Oh no, I have. I will say that I have. I have seen $60. Well, it wasn't $60, but it was like $40.
Here's a simple question. If I
Yeah.
install the game and play for a week and come back in a year, will anything I did still be there?
No.
Okay, then fuck the game for now.
That's a reasonable assumption. That's an actually reasonable argument to make. I don't play it for gameplay. I don't play it for getting lots of money and making lots of money because I have real life for that, which I'm also failing horribly at. But I would say that I play it for atmosphere, for
If I
that
wanted
feeling.
If I wanted an atmospheric roguelike, I would go play an atmospheric roguelike.
I would go play Stalker.
No, look, you said you
I'd
wanted
I'd go play Everspace if I wanted a game that reset every time I logged in.
Ooh,
Hold on.
yeah, that's a good
Hold
one.
on.
Everspace
said-
is great.
You said you wanted to walk around your ship and get a sense of scale and land on a planet and go, wow, this is majestic and everything like that. And that is what Star Citizen will give you. That is exactly why I play it.
Done.
What?
As soon as I have a save state where what I do matters and is permanent, then I will log in and play
There is
Until
persistence.
then-
You know that, right?
for a limited amount of time, and then
Well, before they go into beta,
Yes.
they're probably going to wipe. And then after beta, they'll wipe it again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
once they're done wiping it off, because they're cleaning it right now. Once they're done wiping it off, I'll step on it.
Interesting.
I just somehow managed to tune out for a second there, and when I hear wiping it off, wiping it on, and stepping in it, what do you think was the first thing I was thinking?
I don't know, Yamix. You probably should have been paying attention to the conversation in the first place. That way you could follow the thread.
I
and flow of
was.
thought
It was
as we
just
were moving
a brain
through
fart for a
that
second
particular
there.
topic. Just saying, if you pay attention more.
Realistically,
Yeah.
I have the same hopes that everyone does at this point, though, is that I want Odyssey to be so good that
Okay.
it's not only a direct competitor, but it surpasses the current capabilities of Star Citizen. And I think
Oh my God.
stability will be a great leg up, even if it
think-
doesn't have all the features.
Yeah, I think even at that, if it succeeds just in that form to where it's completely stable and also persistent, and what you do matters.
Wow.
Well,
I don't know about that last one.
well, anything you do in game. Because here's the thing: the reason I don't want to play Star Citizen, I have no problem with the graphics or anything like that. Or the main thing is that I want to get into a game, and if there's something like that is literally space based, and I want to be, a pilot in that universe, literally working a job to, make my way to forge a path for myself. I don't want to come in the next day and have it to where someone came and stole all my stuff.
Too bad. You're gonna need to buy Spaceland.
To that last point, you said what you do matters, and that's actually been a big keystone for how I feel. Well, for one of my big complaints about Elite is that realistically, no matter what you do, no matter how much money you make, ships you fly, what you do, who you fight for, et cetera, none of it actually matters or changes the galaxy at all. And that's kind of a problem for me. I do want something from that I can do to matter.
Okay, I get that. My main point is, until the forced reset button is gone, I won't be logging in.
Well, I'm not saying anything you do in Star Citizen matters, but what I'm saying is that's a big problem with Elite is that let's not pretend that Odyssey is going to let you change something that matters for anybody else. You know what I mean?
If I blow up your ship, you lose
Unless
those
you're
credits.
ganking, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Could you imagine being on the ground and slowly plinking away at someone's ship until it literally exploded from small arms fire? That would be hilarious.
If you could
Oh man,
damage
what if you
ships.
did a roving band of like ground pirates and started shooting at people that were coming in on starport?
Okay, Mini.
We need to do that.
Try getting through the motherfucking shields of a cutter first, okay? Let's get to that point first.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's see how long that takes. How long does it take, or how many ammo clips, or how much like real world like ground credit value? Because I'm pretty sure they're gonna add something like ground based economy credits or something.
It's gonna be another fucking grind loop, like engineer's materials or credit loop. But there will be another one. I have a feeling.
You know what? Honestly, at this point, I'll try it. Let's see what Frontier wants to push this game into, and if they can do it right. Let's go in, test it out, see what's working, see what's not, give them advice, and try to make the game better.
You know what I want more than anything? I want to be able to steal ships.
I want to be able to build my own bases.
Well, I don't care about that. I want to steal someone else's ship. I want to wait for them to go and land and go out in their SRV or their feet and go walk away, and then I land next to them. You know, maybe I have to take out a gun and shoot down their shields first, but then I can just go into their ship, steal it, and take it away.
So what Pilot is suggesting right about now is to make the forums, the Frontier forums, even more toxic of a place than it already is.
Here's why that won't work. Because if I land on a planet and someone steals the Annihilator, I'm going to be hella pissed. All right? I'm going to be hella pissed. Now, whether that will involve a giant thing to reclaim the Annihilator, or if that person can just log off and now owns my ship, or they only own it while they're on the ship, cool. Like, could you make it to where that's a whole thing where you have to chase your own ship down and catch it? That could be kind of fun. But after a certain point, if you don't want to do that gameplay, then you would have an option of like remote detonate your ship and just, get your ship back.
Or just go solo like everyone else does.
Yeah. Or, have an option in the game for anti-griefing for stuff like that. But if you wanted to do it to where like you still want to play the game where if someone steals your ship, you have to chase them down, that could be fun. Maybe it'll limit to where the other person can't jump out of the system for a prescribed amount of time.
That's true. But here's the thing, is that the ability to get into someone else's ship opens up a whole plethora of other gameplay mechanics, like selling ships or opening up a ship dealership.
Or multi-crew.
That actually matters.
That's
yeah,
a
exactly.
joke.
No. It would be cool to be able to get off your ship, go into a station, follow your buddy down to his, docking bay, look at a ship, be able to go inside, and then you're in a multi-crew session.
Yeah.
Mechanically, that's how it could work.
Or you could both launch SRVs at the same time.
But remember that there won't be ship interiors in Elite's Odyssey. Pure and simple.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. It's like you go to their dock and it's like it's a door, but you enter their ship. That's what I'm saying. Or like if you're in a wing or in a group and then you join the session inside the station, you see, your 3 or 4 friends. I'm wondering what the cap for player models and stuff is going to be as well. That'll be interesting to see if it's still going to be, based on that, 4-person maximum, and you have to be in a wing so the data is transferred correctly, or you can just have any amount of people running around. Like, it'll be interesting to see how that comes into effect. That's going to be one of the first things I want to test with Odyssey coming out, is how many people we can get together.
Well, I would just hold on it though. Like, imagine for a second if you just
how cool
got
it would
a
be.
mission. Imagine if you got a mission to go steal a pirate lord's spaceship.
and you have to like go on ground with your buddies, with your guns, steal the dude's ship, and then you're in a multi-crew session with your friends in this ship, and you got one guy on the guns, you got one guy on a fighter, and you got one guy flying the ship. That sounds awesome.
Yes, it does. And that's what I want more than anything. I really do.
And honestly, if you could set up something like that to where like maybe you simulate something like that. Okay, let's say you have a pirate ship, quote unquote, and then you have people on a stream or something that have to hunt you down that are the bad guys that are trying to steal their ship back. And you have, you know, certain guidelines that they can't go beyond, and certain guidelines you can't go beyond and be like a fun event, you know, catch the pirate.
I mean, not to beleaguer the point, but realistically, everything I've just described is something you can currently do in Star Citizen. Just saying.
But I'd like to do it in Elite.
Yes, you can.
If the ship is open, you may enter it, and yes, you may use it. But if the ship is closed down, which is usually when you press, you know, exit the ship and close the doors, no one can get in.
Actually, all you have to do is just go ahead and wait for them to get into the ship, hide around the corner, wait for them to get in, and then walk in behind them. And once you break the armistice zone, you can pop them in the back of the head.
Okay. Okay.
That's terrible.
Fair enough. Fair enough on that
All the
side,
time,
right?
it's great.
But the problem is, you have to be careful to sort of get around there and whatnot else. But okay, it can be done, which is nice. Problem is that it's not very commonly done or even easily done. So yeah, it's sort of a side thing to do, but it's still pretty funny. Yes.
At that point, if someone fails at doing it, it just makes them a bad pirate in that case.
Oh yeah, it's hysterical too, because you watch like this team of like 8 people, like they look in the back cargo and there's someone hiding behind the boxes and they're like, hi, and they're like, bye, and they all shoot him at once. It's great.
It's awesome.
Anyway,
Well,
What's next on the agenda?
oh gods. Well, technically, we could end right now, but let's pick one more topic for the end and whatnot else. Actually, that's a good topic here. Elite, well, since we're on Elite's train, might as well let's go with Elite, right? The Horizons this week has gone as the free edition, or basically just a complete edition for the base game. I'm not going to use the PR marketing term free. It just simply is condensed into the base game. Horizons now is part of the base game. Pure and simple. Everyone gets the Horizons. There we go.
okay,
No cost extra.
ready, guys. Golf clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Go faster.
Now we're
Yamix.
ready for Odyssey, I guess.
Faster, Yamix.
Oh no.
All right, all right.
Okay.
We're going loopy right now already. So, I guess we can end right here in overall. So,
Sounds like a
hopefully you
great
guys weren't too annoyed by the end there. Sorry if we did. But however, big thanks indeed for today's guest Minnie, and of course the casual co-host here, the one and only Pilot.
Yo.
Yeah, well, what can I say other than, you know, if you enjoy our works and whatnot else and so on and so forth, do check us all out in the YouTubes. Some of us have also Twitches and all that stuff. I don't think Minnie has Patreon, so I guess me and Pilot has Patreon, so those also?
But it's not updated.
Well then, regardless. So then all 3 of us also can be supported if you choose so. Other than that, all I can say is... well, it's yet another week. Today kind of had to do it sooner due to weekend plans and all that stuff. But regardless, I bid you adieu for the evening. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Follow, subscribe, and all that stuff, you know.
Have a great day, everyone.
For the community.
For
the community.
Yes.